Right now at noon, what life in Knoll, Missouri is like now, 6 months after the closure of the Tyson chicken plant.
And we've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful day after a cold start. It's warmer and it is, of course, sunny out there. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, Missouri Southern breaks ground on the future Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A new court motion is seeking to release the name of the Joplin police officer who fatally shot a 2-year-old girl nearly 2 years ago. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Sniper 1, a Joplin SWAT team officer, fatally shot 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford while responding to a domestic violence call in Baxter Springs in March of 2022. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has the details.
The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office responded to a call from a woman asking for help at 340 Wyandotte Avenue in Baxter Springs. When officers arrived, Eli Crawford shot Taylor Schrute and went back into the home with 2-year-old Cleslin. According to the police, Eli started shooting at officers. The standoff lasted more than 3 hours. When law enforcement was able to approach the home, they found Eli and Cleslin dead inside. The KBI investigation indicates that 2-year-old Cleslin Crawford died as a result of a single round fired by an officer from the Joplin Police Department.
Now a motion is requesting the court to release Sniper 1's identity. The court document states the profound interest in uncovering the truth far outweighs the privacy of Sniper 1. After reaching out to the Joplin Police Department on the matter, we received this statement from Chief Pearson stating that the case is closed and the department has no comments.
We've got ourselves an absolutely gorgeous day out there. Our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, plentiful sunshine out there. Same from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range line. We've got sunshine, we've got clear skies, and I didn't mean to show that one again, but it's just another great view. That's why it showed back up, is because of how nice it looks out there. We made it up to 64 yesterday, so only 4 degrees off of the average, and right now we're sitting at 62 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh with that sunshine. Temperatures around the region into the 60s, and some of us out west already into the upper 60s. So those are the locations that could make it into the low 70s later today. Otherwise, for most of us, we're looking at upper 60s for the highs. We're going to remain clear for the rest of our evening and drop back down into the low 50s as we go overnight tonight. Winds are going to pick up this weekend. Temperatures pick up this weekend, all ahead of a thunderstorm setup that we're keeping an eye on Monday into Tuesday. We'll have details and all that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, an early morning fire in Joplin's Easttown neighborhood brought extensive damage to a home. Smoke was visible as units arrived to St. Louis and Furnace Street. Flames were coming from a corner of the roof as firefighters had to work into some tight spots as the residence was surrounded tightly by trees. Firefighters had to cut a section out of the roof peak to get inside the attic. The fire was under control within 15 minutes, but inside the home suffered extensive damage. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A Neosho, Missouri school counselor has turned himself in for a statutory rape charge. Authorities say 40-year-old Jacob Oakes sexually assaulted a minor several times from 2021 to this year. After turning himself in yesterday, he immediately posted bond. The Neosho School District says Oakes, who works at South Elementary, was put on leave when they became aware of the allegations. Pittsburgh police arrested 2 people in connection with the overdose death of a teenager. Police have started investigating last April after 18-year-old Cooper Campedi of Frontenac died of a fentanyl overdose. Then Wednesday, they arrested 2 suspects believed to have sold Campedi the drugs. Official charges against the suspects are pending. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Ottawa County residents had a chance to learn about resources available to those affected by the Tar Creek Superfund site. Federal, state, and tribal officials were on hand at the Miami Civic Center for an open house to connect people with resources and answer questions about cleanup efforts. Yesterday's meeting focused on the importance of getting children blood tested for lead poisoning and free soil cleanup for residents.
There are things being done. It's not safe to swim in Tar Creek these days, but eventually maybe it will be. But right now, the remediation is going to take a few decades, and when it's done, maybe we'll have usable land out here and it'll be safe.
The Tar Creek area was designated as a Superfund site decades ago following high levels of chat pollution. 6 months ago, the destiny of about 1,500 people was uncertain as the Tyson plant in Knoll, Missouri was closing its doors. KOAM spoke to some former employees to hear what their lives look like a half a year later. They say the burden has been especially difficult, both emotionally and financially. Missouri Southern yesterday broke ground for a big new campus project, the Roy Blunt Health and Science Center. KOAM's Anthony Saviello was there and has reaction from the former senator, students, and faculty.
It's the beginning of the newest phase of Missouri Southern. The Roy Blunt Health and Science Innovation Center breaks ground and is just 2 years away from being what campus president Dean Van Galen describes as the campus crowning jewel.
The Health Innovation Center will be front and center. It will be on the oval, so as you drive by the campus on Newman Road, this will be the iconic building that you see on the campus. It also houses our Welcome Center. It also houses meeting space for the community, so it'll be the new front door of Missouri Southern State University.
Former Missouri Senator Roy Blunt is the name that is attached to this facility. He says his focus has been on the improvement on the future of healthcare in Missouri.
What the health world looks like right now at this minute is nothing like it looked like 10 years ago, and frankly not what it will look like 10 years from now. I think for Missouri Southern that the opportunity to have this innovation center is a great way to keep more in that discussion.
Southern students say that this new building can now be a selling point to attract new students.
If you really think about it, we are struggling in healthcare. We need more healthcare people, and having these types of buildings are going to make it to where people want to come here and they want to experience this and they want to learn and become a nurse or a doctor or whatever. And so having these facilities is really important, I feel like.
President Van Galen says that this building will also allow students to be on the forefront of serving a need in Southwest Missouri.
There are great workforce needs for well-prepared healthcare professionals, and that's what we do at Missouri Southern, certainly in their disciplines as a nurse or a dental hygienist, but we provide also a broad-based education that prepares them not only for their first job, but for their entire careers.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Certainly an exciting moment in Missouri Southern history. Construction of the new facility is set to begin in the coming weeks and is set to wrap up before the 2026 school year. Coming up, middle schoolers in McDonald County get the taste of the real world in a life simulation event. And later, we're making pecan golf ball cookies in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Tilton House Moving is raising the boom on the small Inslee drag line that was donated by Mission Clay today at the Miners Hall Museum. They're working on the project today in anticipation for the museum's Saturday night event, A Night in New Orleans. Frank Layden Elementary in Frontenac, Kansas hosted its annual Young Authors Conference today, bringing together kindergartners all the way up to fifth graders for an engaging literary event. Local Joplin author Izzy B. and illustrator Ben Askew visited the students to read their book, The Mighty McCracken. Middle schoolers in McDonald County yesterday got a taste of the real world. Pineville Elementary hosted an immersive life simulation event. 7th and 8th grade students were able to go through 2 simulations, a reactive one and a proactive one. The reactive simulation saw their lives go through financial and health struggles. The proactive one allowed them to make informed choices to unlock their potential.
If I have a probation officer, speak to it and not go to jail. And, don't make dumb decisions that's going to hurt you in the future, and make sure you get all your bills paid on time so you're not behind and you're not stressed out and feel like you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Pineville Elementary partnered with the Ozarks Area Community Action Corporation to pull the simulation off. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We've mastered a cookie recipe just in time for the Masters. Come join us as we get ready to
And we've got ourselves thunderstorms on the way. We're tracking those as we head into the next work week. We'll have the latest on all that in your full forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So if you were to look into the dictionary for the definition of a perfect spring day, you would probably find today. And as you know, here in the 4 states, we don't really get many of those. So take today in. It's absolutely gorgeous out there, and it is almost exactly how it's supposed to be for this time of year. Let's start with these temperatures real quick, see how we're doing out there. We've got some low to mid 60s, and the further west you go, we have some upper 60s out there. We're looking at highs into the upper 60s, and out west, maybe even some low 70s. So that'd be just a wee bit above average for this time of year. So this is right about how we're supposed to be. We got a nice westerly breeze, and we've got plentiful sunshine to go with it. So again, highs about 70 degrees, and that west wind around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now we head into this evening. We're going to hold on to those clear skies. We're also going to hold on to reasonable winds as well, but they're going to shift out of the southeast at 5 to 10. Take a look at this. That's going to beat the 30s we were in this morning. We're going to be waking up in the low 50s for tomorrow morning, and that's ahead of a windier and much warmer day out there. How much warmer? That much warmer. So now we're going to go well above average, reaching low 80s for our highs tomorrow. We'll have some partly cloudy skies, and the winds are going to increase too. Southwest at 20 to 25, gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour. Now, the reason it seems like we're moving really fast here is because we've got a storm system. We've been discussing it for the past several days that we're watching Monday into Tuesday, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, checking the latest information, not a lot of change. The biggest open window right now is the exact timing of storm initiation by Monday. So let's go over the details. We've had our region plus points west and southwest highlighted for a severe risk for Monday into Tuesday for 4 consecutive days. That's out on the long range. You don't highlight stuff on the long range unless data is looking fairly consistent. It has also been almost unchanged for the last 4 days as well, which means the data is fairly consistent that the atmosphere across this region is going to be primed for strong to severe thunderstorms by Monday afternoon. Again, the timing is the key issue here for us as to whether or not storms fire up early in the afternoon and reach us by early evening, or if they fire up a little later and get here a little later. So, and then that will also be determinant on severe strength if the storms get here after the cold front takes over the dry line. When you get that dry line, you get those supercells. That's where your best window for the more intense severe storms is. Once the cold front takes over the dry line, you get that line of strong to severe thunderstorms where they're still intense, but not as intense as they are individually. Right now, we're looking after about 4 o'clock Monday afternoon is going to be the first window for showers and thunderstorms to begin to develop. Then we'll get that line of showers and storms by late night Monday, and that severe threat could carry on into Tuesday morning by the time the KOAM Morning News goes on the air. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. There may be a pause, and then by Tuesday early afternoon, we could see another round of additional development with this frontal boundary of additional strong to severe thunderstorms that will hang on with us through the early evening hours before they do eventually kick on out of here. Here's the hot spots we're talking about. This yellow zone is where severe weather is possible come Monday, and this orange zone is where there's higher confidence of strong to severe thunderstorms. We go overnight and into Tuesday. That pushes to the east, but still leaves us with that opportunity for strong to severe storms on Tuesday. And at this point, all severe weather hazards look possible. We're talking large hail, high winds, and the possibility of tornadoes. So this Monday and Tuesday, we've been talking about it. We're going to continue to talk about it. You want to watch it closely. Keep it right here to the KOAM Skywatch weather team. We'll be watching these storms as well. In between here and there, though, this weekend, boy, breezy 80s out there. 80s on Monday. In near 80 Tuesday, 80s again Wednesday, another chance of rain Thursday, brings us back down to average into the 60s with a few more storm chances next weekend. But again, the big story right now is just keeping an eye on Monday into Tuesday.
Well, we'll enjoy this weekend while we can before
Absolutely.
Monday rolls in. All right, thanks, Chris. We'll stick around. We're making pecan golf ball cookies in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. In celebration of the Masters golf tournament, Howard came up with a cookie recipe that's above par. Here's a recipe for pecan golf ball cookies in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Throughout the year, it's pretty common for us to create recipes that you can serve on game days. You know, wings during football season, recipes that you can dunk while watching basketball, and so on. So when we heard the Masters golf tournament was in full swing today, we thought it'd be the perfect time to share our pecan golf ball cookies with you. The first thing we do is place a box of vanilla wafers in a food processor and pulse them until they're really fine. Now we add those to a large bowl along with a package of softened cream cheese, some chopped pecans, and a bit of caramel ice cream topping. And we give that a good mix. After it comes together, we roll this into 1-inch balls, so they're about the size of golf balls, and we pop them in the freezer. While those are firming up, we melt some white chocolate bars in the microwave, and once that's smooth, all that's left to do is dip each ball in the chocolate. Before you know it, it's time to tee off. There you have it, a golf ball-sized cookie that, if you pardon the expression, you'll be hooked on. Maybe serve them with your favorite 19th hole beverage, and you're good to go. If you want to master our recipe for pecan golf ball cookies, simply go online. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an above par way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Would you quit goofing around and try a cookie?
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go on over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so we've got a pretty decent day today, 70 out there, 80s through the weekend, breezy again. Watching that strong to severe thunderstorm threat Monday into Tuesday, so definitely keep an eye on that, and we'll be keeping an eye on that for you as well. 80s Wednesday, cooler to end next week with a few rain chances Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All righty. Well, coming up tonight at 5, there's been a big boost in the number of people testing their DNA to find out more about their ancestry. Now many consumers are doing the same with their pets. Plus, 6 months ago in Knoll, Missouri, Tyson closed its doors. We're going to see how the closure has impacted the community both emotionally and financially. And the Victims of CARE Act funding is being cut by roughly 40%. Tonight, we'll hear from advocacy organizations in Miami about how this will impact their services. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. Before we go, we'd like to introduce you to PSU's Intro to AV class visiting us in the studio today. That's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.